Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back, and we have a second game today between Adel and Nerchio. Let's bring up that nameplate there. We did see in the first game, Nerchio ended up winning in cutting drone production once Adel did had to go for an expansion, and he pushed out with lots of roaches and zerglings, attacked in 2 waves, and was able to overcome that century-heavy force that Adel had. That was a great game. Looking forward to this game as well. This time we are on Terminus RE, just an absolutely fantastic map. Going to take a quick look around again. This is one of the newer maps. It's not really new, but if you're really used to the old map pool and you don't watch a lot of StarCraft commentaries, I just want to run over this really quickly to give you a good idea of what it's like. A very macro focused map, very macro heavily, simply because outside of the main we do of course have this natural expansion, but right next to that there is a natural third as well, with a rich Vespian geyser there as well, and of course that is the same for all positions. Now beyond those first 3 bases, you do have a base right outside in the middle, much more exposed, much more difficult to defend. Hello. But besides that, you can see players pretty much no matter what the positioning take a kind of clear and definitive half of the map. We can see even in what's I guess technically somewhat close positions here, even with that being said and not being directly across positions, we can see both players can kind of take their half of the map. You know, Adel would be looking to take this half from this point up to here, and Nerchio could be taking from his main base all the way around and wrapping over to here. Obviously the outlying bases being much more difficult to defend. Can see right now Scout moving out for Nerchio, and he's actually going to be hitting right up in Adel's base. Now we did see last game Nerchio tried to block the placement of that Cybernex core, and in doing so was effectively able to get some Zerglings up into the base of Adel and do quite a bit of early game damage, taking out quite a few workers. Let's see if he tries to do the same thing. Moving on up, checking the gas, you just see that one going to be moving down, and yes, it looks like he's going to be trying to deny the placement of that Cybernex core. Let's see what Adel does this time. The last time in response, instead of trying to deal with his drone, he just put the cyber core somewhere else, and look at this, moving down, and this is going to be a problem right now. He should be bringing down a second worker to make sure that he can drop this. Is he going to be able to get him out in time? I don't think so. This is delaying the Cybernex core significant amounts of times, and that's a huge problem because we have Zerglings on the way. We can't see Nerchio open up with one base. There we go, finally managing to drop down that Cybernex core, but that is so much later than he would have liked. A lot of times you're going to see that cyber core at like 18 supply, and we can see he was at about 24 right now, and that Cybernex core did just come up. So big problems there for Adel. We do have a couple Zerglings making their way on through, and there is nothing blocking this front wall right here. We need to have a unit wedge right in this space, and again we did see that gas steal from Nerchio, and he's going to be canceling and picking it back up. That's really big. This is a pretty tense moment. Again, Zerglings moving across the board. We need to make sure that Adel gets a unit right in there blocked. There we go. But the big problem is that we're going to have Zerglings probably attacking this gateway. The Zealot doesn't want to move, and until that Stalker's out, he's going to be taking some damage out of that gateway. We also have this pylon, and that's a free kill right now, and look, he's just going to take it. He's actually not going to be moving up to the gateway trying to take that, but Zealot moving out, and this is a little bit dangerous as well. They're going to be moving around, killing the worker, and heading straight into the main. Adel needs to be careful getting us around on that probe, and manages to pull in. So 2 games in a row, Nerchio managing to sneak into Adel's base, and we're going to see some more great micro from him, I expect, and that gas is still stolen. Nerchio having a very effective attack here and causing Adel much headache for sure. He's going to be pulling back right now that the Stalker's in play. Unfortunately, the Zergling harass has stopped, but still the extractor is still in the base, delaying the second assimilator for Nerchio by quite a bit. You can see his response though, instead of kind of relying on that second assimilator, switching things up a little bit and just going for that fast expo. If he hadn't planned on doing that already, that provides him a perfect opportunity. In all honesty, with that extractor up, you might as well do something like that, unless you're going to go for a really heavy like 4 or 5 gate 1 gas push. But anyways, taking a look back in Nerchio's base, let's see what he's got going on. Metabolic boost just about finished. Roach Warren again, so it looks like he's going to be going with that same unit composition as we did see him go with last game. Let's take a quick look at the units lost tab right now. We can see right now 3 workers have been killed from Nerchio. So there's 3 of Adel's workers that are dead. Although Adel has killed 4 units, those were just the 4 Zerglings in his base, and killing off the 3 workers is definitely a much heavier loss, because that's obviously less mining that you're getting done when you lose workers. Losing those Zerglings isn't quite as big of a deal. We do have a wall off set up right here. Very weak points right here in these 2 pylons. We do have that double wall of Zealots, but still these 2 positions here are very abusable, and likely to see those sniped down if we see a roach push. Right now on the board, forward, what do we have? We just have those 2 roaches. We've got 4 more coming in, and let's take a look at how the droning action. It looks like he's going to be pushing out again, coming out with quite a few roaches right now. And is he going to be droning up whatsoever, or is he going to be continuing up this aggression? Let's just take a quick look, see how he ends up utilizing these next larvae. And come on, where's your production? He's very low on resources right now. Looks like he's just continuing up that roach production. So we are definitely seeing a very heavy push. He hasn't worked. And look at that, 6 Zerglings as well. So we're going to be seeing a big attack from Nerchio. Let's see what Adel has to deal with this. He does have he's fairly stalker heavy, which is not bad. My concern here is that with this 1 sentry, he does not have a lot of use of force field. And again, we've got these 2 big weak points here that can very easily be busted by those roaches. So this is a little bit of cause for concern. When the push comes, oh no, it looks like actually Adel's looking to move outside of his base. What does he got right now for gateway? He's got 4, 5, 6. So going for a 6 gate push right now off of 2 bases. A lot of times you see this in conjunction with a level 1 upgrade, but that's not coming. He's just going to be going with a regular old 6 gate. But at the same time, Zerglings streaming across the board, trying to get a few free stalker kills. Needed to pull back though once they got within range of those zealots. We got a ton more Zerglings. So again, Nerchio committing to this push here, not droning up whatsoever early game. Moving on back, trying to get that sentry, also trying to get to the backside of those stalkers, avoiding those zealots as much as possible. They did get a little bit of damage, not quite enough though. We have some rally forces over here, needs to get those in the engagement, trying to stay away from those zealots, microing back those roaches, and once those zealots are gone, those roaches are going to be free to go to town on those stalkers. Does want to get some Zerglings in here. Again, a few reinforcements up there, 24 Zerglings on the way for Nerchio. Nerchio, again, really committing to this push. 1 Zergling trying to take down that pylon, microing back those stalkers as much as possible, trying to keep that one with the low health in the background. Nice force field though. Gonna get this free roach kill right here. Also chasing down those roaches and pushing forward, doing a great job here. I'm really impressed by Adel's ability to hold this off, especially since Nerchio really is going all in here. More Zerglings stream on in, but Zerglings managing to get what's relatively a surround here. Adel doing a good job of microing back, but those Zerglings had a lot of face time with those stalkers and were able to do quite a bit of damage. We do have a few more zealots as well as 1 stalker being warped in, but no, he needs to be very careful. Those guys did take damage while they were warping in. That might have not been the best position for them, and Zerglings trying to do what they can, and oh no, streaming into the base right now, going to be going straight for the econ, and this is going to be a lot of damage. Adel does need to pull back to deal with this. Roach is pushing back. We can see a counterattack, looks like. Adel is trying to do that. Needs to be careful though. Nerchio is going to lose these 2 overlords, but at the same time, tremendous amounts of damage going down. Let's take a look at the unit loss tab. 13 workers killed right now. Nerchio going to town on Adel's economy, and just these few Zerglings going to do tremendous amounts of damage. We can see again there is this counterattack coming down, so Adel going to be trying to see what he can do for damage. If he doesn't hit Nerchio very hard right here, he's going to be a lot of trouble. Jones moving down to going in the engagement, try to create some sort of a buffer for those roaches, and this has been stopped. Too many roaches right now for Adel to deal with. Let's take a look at that unit station. We don't only have 14 probes as opposed to the 26 drones. This is not looking good for Adel. He's going to be pushing out. He's very far behind in economy though, so if he does not do significant damage in this push, there's just absolutely nothing that he's going to be able to do. So here we go. Wants to get those zealots in the front there. A decent amount of forces, but I'm not sure if Nerchio does have quite enough, although he is a little bit ahead. No, not more than a little bit. He's 68 as opposed to 44, so Adel needs to try to do tremendous amounts of damage. He needs to be careful as Zerglings moving forward, getting us around there, and great transfuses by Nerchio, keeping up those roaches a little bit longer, and this counterattack has been thwarted, and there is the GG from Adel. So we saw 2 games in a row, Nerchio going for a really strong all-in, cutting drone production, once spotting the expo of his Protoss opponent Adel, and then just pushing in very hard with Zerglings and roaches. The real crux there and the real big engagement that helped him so much was once he was able to sneak those Zerglings into the main. Again, Adel left this unguarded when he was pushing out against those forces, and because of the, of course, the speed and mobility of those speedlings, able to run into the natural, killed off so many workers over here, and then ran into the main and did quite a number to his workers up here as well. So great play there by Nerchio. Again, this was game number 2 between these 2 players. We do have a couple more games coming out today, so make sure you stay tuned. And remember, guys, if you like the content, be sure to subscribe to the channel, and as always, keep watching and keep owning.